as we began to say, people today in the so-called developed world, developed to what is today ignorance. For all the knowledge we've got, we're ignorant. There is conformity, a conforming to a standard that is not after righteousness. It's a standard after materialism and shallowness, listening to government, listening to media, taking in what the government says and what the media says, and consuming the goods around us. A basic mentality of conforming to a system that is using us like merchandise. Alright? So, we all know and understand that the latest gadget is the must-have gadget. That's taken for granted, isn't it? As we say, we all understand that. The must-have gadgets. And the manufacturers and producers know this to be so. And so they upgrade this and they upgrade that. So you're going to go for the next one to show your pals, look, I've got the latest black eye. Hey, is that right? I've just been kicked in the nuts. How's that much? Oh, bugger. You've got one better than me. And it's always this challenge all the way through. And conforming to government. And when the government says things, people copy them. Government says ISIS, people copy. ISIS must exist. Because the government says so. Media says so. And so it is that this conformity that the government has brought in and the people we have allowed to happen. We've allowed it. We've sat back. We've not questioned. As former generations have actually questioned and not trusted government one iota. Whenever government has spoken, it's two fingers up yours, mate. You know, we don't trust you. You're a bunch of pigging perverts, liars, cheats, thieves, vagabonds. But now we've entered a generation, a time, an era of which people are either never taught that or don't want to know. And it's conformity. As I say, when government says ISIS, they leap. If the government says global warming, people leap. Whatever the government says, people leap. Government says you must vote. If you don't vote, you're disparaging those who fought for the freedom in both wars for the democratic right to vote. The sheep will turn around to the likes of me and you and anybody else who says, right, okay, I do vote, but with my feet. A vote of no confidence, I walk away. That's my privilege. That's what my father and my grandfathers fought for. That privilege to walk away. You dumb sods, you've been listening to government. They've restricted the idea of voting to a ballot box, of which shows you that you're dumb so-and-so because you can't even pick and sign your name down there. You've got to put a pig in X. They never think of this because they've conformed. And on the ballot paper there's no such thing as democracy. But you would tell me you're living in a democracy. Why are you telling me that? Because the government's told you that, so you've conformed to government, you silly Burke. This is an autocracy. Parliamentary Act of 1911 says this country, the United Kingdom, is based and shall be run on autocratic lines. The government tell us to do what to do, not we tell the government. Okay, so that reflects in your ballot paper, because not on your ballot paper, it's only the first donkey or the first horse past the post. Isn't it? The old nag past the post. Shoot the bugger. You don't have a box saying of no confidence in any party, do you? Democracy would demand that. In fact, it wouldn't just demand it, it would state it. It would give it to you. So you've conformed. Just as much you conform to the to the producers, the salesmen of all these new gadgets that you must have, this 40 foot TV or whatever, plonk it in your house, blasting away. Okay, get the old headsets on your head. These nice little earpieces. Okay, and get your bangity 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 music going. This thump thump thump, and sit down next to an old woman or somebody else who doesn't appreciate vumpity vumpity, and you turn it up, you blast it up, so that they can appreciate it, and then you go deaf. You eventually go pigging deaf. Okay, but you're conforming. So when we come to these hoaxes, which the government tells you and the media tells you they're real life events, okay? The vast majority are told, get some flowers. Because this is the trendy thing to do amongst all the other trendy things to do. Right? They focus in on the event. They inquire on the social media. Is there going to be a gathering? If so, what day, what time? They'll ascertain what day, what time there's going to be a social gathering of a public show of sympathy. Okay? Because that is the trendy thing to do. That's all this is about. Look, I was there. I got to the latest tragic event. I was there. Hey, were you there? Why weren't you there? Don't you sympathise? Don't you mourn? And this is how they are. They don't mourn, they don't sympathise. They can't, because they don't know the persons personally that was supposed to be dead. I mean, that would be picking up. It's deceit. It's deceitful. If you don't know the person that's picking dead and you say, I'm mourning over them, that's picking deceitful. But they don't see it. You don't know them from picking Harry. But it's a trend, you see. They all get together there, 200 or 300 people. Ooh, ooh, flagellation, population, ooh. And they stand there. Ooh, look, aren't I just gorgeous? Ooh, aren't I a good person? Hey? I'm showing my respect. Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh, and then when you tell them the truth, oh no, they'll get you round the pigging throat and they'll try and strangulate you, and yet the buggers have just been standing in a pigging crowd pretending to be sorrowful, rest in peace and all this pigging nonsense, and how nasty and awful it is that these persons have been murdered, and they're trying to pigging murder you. That's the hypocrisy of these shallow people. Hang on.